Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or massages. Come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot. May your comings and goings be forever covered by the grace of the Most High. When in doubt, go within. Namaste's bestie, glad you could pop in. We've got a few things to unpack here at Don't Get Smoked Central, darling dears. We need to talk about betrayal. We've all been through it and experienced it, darling dears. And it never comes from people you don't know. Betrayal can break your heart chakra, darling dears. Make you see the world through a very, very narrow field. But only if you give it that power. Only if you give it the power, darling dears. Your strength lies in how you choose to respond to that level of betrayal, darling dears. Not in what they did, darling dears. You don't respond in like-minded, like fashion, darling dears. You don't. Healing starts when you decide that their actions won't define your story. Forgive them, darling dears. Why? The forgiveness is for you. And I say this to you from the bottom of my tummy, darling dears. If I was to sit down and count the most skullduggerous betrayals in my life, I'd be a vegetable. You use that energy to fight, darling dears. Some of you, it's on a daily basis, you have to get up, get away from all of that intel that's been perpetrated against the big cat, darling dears. But you can go on. This betrayal is a redirection, and that is God's protection. Never you forget that. And if you choose to stay at the bottom of the pit with the betrayal, you'll be here in dummy bat territory, darling dears. Law number 10, where you will be amongst the ones that need to be avoided. Why? Because they're losers, darling dears. You lose out on the life you're meant to live on this Malkuth if you live in the betrayal that was perpetrated against you. And law number 10 tells us you'll be in what? Blood clot and blood clottery. You don't want to stay there, darling dears. You don't want to. All right, let's get the dice and dive right in. What energies does the big cat have around them today? I can't make this up. You have the energy of a 9. 9 means what? Completion. It's over. Whatever they done did, put it on the back burner, darling dears. And remember, these betrayals, yes, you will get flashbacks. Sometimes it's a piece of music, or it could be something somebody does. Whatever brings it back, darling dears. You don't have to live amongst it. That is your conscious mind trying to remind you that you are less than, when you are more than a conqueror. I tell you this all of the time. You, big cat, are more precious than diamonds and gold. Proverbs 31:10, whether you are male or female. Your essence cannot be replaced. It took 64 grandparents for you to be here, darling dears. And you are here for a reason. During the age of Aquarius, where the whole universe is watching to see what will happen with this Malkuth, big things are always going on for you, big cat. But you have to realize it. And in some cases, you have to create it. Let the word on the street be you, darling dears. Why? You are the word on the street. Fist bump. Let's carry on. So the energy of the 9, darling dears, tells me whatever happened in that situation, it was fated. You had to come to the ending of this cycle, to your stress threshold, to your most pissed offedness. Let's break down the dice, darling dears. The energy of the 3 is about gossip, darling dears. The dice tells me that they're talking about you. Why can't they stop talking about you? Because they are Sputnik. They are children of the corn. They can't help it, darling dears. They cannot. Why are they talking about you? The 3 speaks about you are about to have a major change going through your life, darling dears. Things that will make people have to bow down and put some respect on your name. But they won't tell you this. They will watch you forever. That's why I don't block everybody, darling dears. I left 2 or 3 of them unblocked so they can report back to headquarters that Big Cat is still doing things. Fist bump. Baby. That's the whole point of it, darling dears. Is to overcome what was thrown at you. See it as an obstacle, not the be all and end all. The energy of the 6, darling dears, you may be having some doctor's visits or somebody's going to be calling on you for a doctor's visit, darling dears. The energy of the 3, according to the 3rd house, is the house of gossip, darling dears. Yes, Gemini energy, which is ruled by Mercury, a mutable sign. It's also about languages, travel. Maybe you are into higher learning. You could be a teacher or the student, darling dears. Any forms of grand transportation will be going fabulous, gorgeous and lovely. But can I go back to here? The gossip is definitely on the table, darling dears. 3rd house also speaks about the devices that they're using, darling dears. What they're using to transfer this gossip. Listen, if they're digging up things, it's old bones, darling dears. This is what I'm telling you. They're so focused on you. Focused on seeing if that what they did to you really had an effect, darling dears. Let them focus on you, darling dears, and miss out on all the chances to change their behaviors and live the life that they were sent to this Malkuth to live. It's not your responsibility. All you've got to give them is love and light. 2 of these and 1 of those. And a long spoon, darling dears, a long spoon. Some people are saying, but I loved it. Love who? What did Tina tell us? What's love got to do with it? Oh my God, I'm going to lose my shiznai and there's no one to check me, boo. Let's press on, darling dears. You could be a life path 9, darling dears, or the number 9, 18, 27 will be on your hemisphere. The number 9 also encumbers the numbers 3, 6 and 9. It's your lucky numbers. Come through Tesla with the key to the universe. Posh, clap. The energy of the 9 is representative of the letters I and R. It's also ruled by Mars, Aries energy, darling dears. Mars and Aries energy also brings us back to your early childhood. Yes, there was a lot of competition around you, darling dears. The beginnings that you was meant to have at that time was what? They was not necessarily lost in translation, darling dears. They were delayed. They were delayed because you didn't understand the light you carry, darling dears. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's never too late. Remember, our 30s, our 40s is our new 30s. Our 50s is our new 40s. Our 60s is our new 50s. You are as young as you feel, darling dears. There are many people that create their business in their 40s and 50s, and they're doing fabulous, gorgeous and lovely. Whatever it is that you are doing, darling dears, you have a captive audience. The energy of the 9, as I said, Mars and Aries energy, you had to learn how to stand up for yourself, darling dears. This also speaks about your close family. Energy of Mars, Aries energy, the 1st house. This is why we've got to be talking about it, darling dears. The 1st house is also about you stepping into leadership roles, creating new initiatives in your life, darling dears. But it's also with the first house, you have to think of accidents as well as your health. I said your ground transportation will be fabulous, gorgeous and lovely. But there is more than one transportation, darling dears. Be very careful and very wary taking planes, especially around Mercury retrograde, blood. I took a plane in Mercury retrograde and you saw what happened there. I had to leave Turkey with all of my original teeth, blood. I had to get on the next thing smoking. Oh my God. Anyhow, I digress. Let's carry on, darling dears. Let's carry on. So they're talking about you, darling dears. As always, they can't stop. I said they're captivated. Well, guess what? Law number 48 of the 48 laws of power. Number 9. The number 9 is win through your actions, never your words. You don't argue with simple-minded people. The feeble-minded, you must leave them feeble-minded. Why? They're too busy focusing on you and wasting their life. They want to see if you're living in that betrayal. They want to see you at the bottom of the pit, darling dears, on the rocks of life. And in some cases, they want you dodo dead, darling dears, so they can come to your funeral and sing what? Shall we gather by the river? In a falsetto with no tears on their face. I know, the effrontery of it all. So they're talking about the big cat. Let's go with those cards first. We're going to get a yellow. We're going to get a green. And we're going to get a pink. Okay, this is a lot, right? Doesn't matter what they say, blood. Divine has a hand on them. Hey, nothing like being caught, right? Imagine, they're on the docket in Keitha, darling dears. Imagine you're going to trial and you go into the trial and they know everything you did in this life, the last life and the one you're going to, darling dears. What are you going to say? What could you possibly say? The red flags of it all, darling dears. We ignored all of the red flags. Why? Because we wanted to believe that this person was not as disgusting, low vibing, a dummy bat, a tree sloth, a Jezebel spirit, a Ikubai, a succubi, the shepherd, was it? The shepherd, the devil's toenail, right? The scud between the devil's toes, right? Listen, we wanted to think the best of these people. This is why we didn't look at the red flags. Right? And that's facts. I'm not making it. Listen, these are all the cards that fell off. Right? It's now yesterday's newspapers. And then, as I said, they're rehashing the things of yesteryear, darling dears. Things that you can't change. And why can't you change them? Because you would not be the person that you are today. Some of these things were harsh truths, these betrayals. And when they go for it, darling dears, they're back front neck tabbers. You don't know where to hold your back because the blade's coming. It's coming, right? We've got something out. Somebody's feeling haunted and hunted. Did we not just say divine is dealing with them? All right. What's here? We've got the number 2, darling dears, the second house. So it's the letters B, K, and T. The letters 2, 11, 20, and 29. It tells me you are highly intuitive, darling dears, balanced, okay? Somebody's going to be going into some kind of a partnership, whether it's a business or romantical, darling dears. You're extremely sensitive and persuasive. Use that persuasive and charming power, darling dears, to build yourself. I don't care if you've got progeny, darling dears. Unless you build yourself, work on you, deal with those shadows, darling dears, it's going to affect your whole lineage. Energy of the 2, the second house is the house of Taurus, Venus energy. This is about your possessions, darling dears. Things that you can earn for yourself. It's also about your self-worth is on the table, darling dears. And again, the second house, the number 2, is about the past. Tell me something from the pink deck. Thank you. No, they can't bloody come back. Tell them at the back, they can't bloody come back. And the third party as another party does, they. Imagine that. So if it's somebody betrayed you in the romantical sense, darling dears, their third party has someone else. Nothing more from this deck. Let's go to the yellow deck. So many cards just fell out. Good golly and gosh. They feel devastated. Devastated because they was caught or because they can't come back. Which one is it? Which one is it? Right? Because you're not having it, blood. You're not having it. You not have it. Right? All they do is think about you. And they cry at night. I hope they're crying into their fist, darling. They need to cry into their fist. This person has mommy or daddy issues, darling dears. They've got an issue with their parents, the people that procreated them, darling dears. So they came amongst you and did all of that. It could also be within your family, darling dears. Betrayal does not have a specific face or body or gender, darling dears. When it comes in, it leaves you breathless. Sorry, I had to hold that for a few seconds so you can fully understand how it feels. But you can get past this. You don't have to live with what they did. It doesn't matter what they did. You can survive and thrive. Remember, conceive, believe, and achieve. Divine is dealing with them. Let's get your Oracle Ancestral message. And then we'll press on at a hot trot. We're going to go with the... I can't remember the name of the deck. I've got a lot of things thinking about, darling dears. Let's give it a good shufty. It's nearly time for me to get my bandage off. I had the surgery on the 27th of March and they're going to take it off on the 9th. Carpal tunnel, darling dears. They had to decompress my meridian to blood clot. Listen, yo. I didn't ask for my meridian to be compressed. I didn't. What do your ancestors want you to know? Here in the garden, darling dears. When I said divine is dealing with them, remember I told you that. It also speaks about what the seeds that you plant now, darling dears. Can you see the gateway open for infinite possibilities? It's your time to relax. We've got the mountains in the background, darling dears. That's the obstacles, but it's behind the trees. You have to understand it's the seeds that you plant in your own garden. And remember, some of you, this is the seeds for your lineage. And as I keep on telling you in every single video, if someone does not like you, they do not like your children, don't leave them around them. Divine has given you a garden, darling dears, with an open gateway. This is a new beginning. You're unique. Be unapologetic about your gifts and utilize them to the best of your abilities. None of us know the day, the hour, or the minute. Base of the deck, darling dears. Chivalry isn't dead. Didn't I say somebody's going to be romancing soon, darling dears? But be careful who's coming through, darling dears. Make sure that you research the person before... I couldn't even mention, right? Lock up. Listen, in Jamaica, we've got a saying, right? Anytime you've got something good, you put it up, right? So put up your panani, put up your fatum, put up your finances, put up all your good shiznai, darling dears, because you don't know whether this person is going to be a friend or a foe. But we shall see. Because what? You're not having it, blood. And no, they can't bloody come back. Beetlejuice or Candyman? They are extremely devastated, darling dears, because you know the facts. They would love you to still be dumb as a crumb, darling dears, bending over and taking it without the Vaseline. Of course they would. Of course they would. Let's get to the decks, darling dears, and get this sorted. Base of your deck, darling dears, we've got, oh my God, we've got the Emperor, Mars and Aries energy. Again, I can't make this up, darling dears. It tells me that you are the commandante, from the foot soldier up to the commander, darling dears. Some of you are going to be starting some kind of entrepreneurial business, some kind of venture. Okay? This could also represent a partner coming towards you. This is the Emperor, darling dears. But we shall see what type of Emperor this is. Right? You wait over here. I'll come back to you in a minute. Let's get your information. Where are you right now? Where is the big cat right now? Thank you. Victorious blood. You're winning. Some of you is just taking the breath every day, darling. Just getting up out of your bed, being able to make up your bed, because betrayal, when it comes and you realize the enormity of it, whatever you're doing, you're winning, darling dears. You are winning. We've got Jupiter and Leo energy, darling dears. Jupiter energy is the 9th house, the house of God, but it's also the house of luck and travel, darling dears, as well as astrology and a number of other things. Leo energy is the house of luck. It's also the house of dating, romance, but it's also the house of drama.com. Even though you are having these victories, darling dears, they're still swirling in the background. Didn't I just tell you with the mountains? Right about now, you're good. What of the wicked? Well, I've got to ask. What of the wicked? Tell us of the wicked. Yeah. Doesn't matter what the wicked's doing, darling dears. You've got your block game on. Listen, this is a full-on block party. This is you standing your ground, even if your voice was shaking. You're not worried about the wicked, darling dears, because you have got your boundaries. Okay. So as you continue to win, because you are winning, you've gone from the 6 to the 7, darling dears. Hey, look who we got. The King of Wands on his forehead. This is a narcissist, a sociopath. This is someone who is out there in the general public without any certificate from an exorcist. This person or people, darling dears. This is someone who is extremely controlling. This is someone who is bitter. Someone we all have psychic abilities, darling dears, but they use it to manipulate others. The King of Wands on his forehead. This is not someone that you want to meet up with, darling dears. And the king always says, from the head down, darling dears, this could represent a lineage. From the head down. All right. Tell me something more about this King of Wands. This person wanted you to stay in a cage, darling dears. This person wanted you to stay codependent on them. This is somebody that's possibly taking a lot of drugs, alcohol, could be sex, it could be food, whatever it is, darling dears. They take out their insecurities on you. They took out their insecurities on you. Someone that enjoyed doing this. Are they a masochist or a sadist? Which one is it? A masochist. The sadist is the one that gets it done to them. The masochist is the one that likes doing it. Am I right or wrong? What's trying to pop up, darling dears? Oh my God. Whatever's going on, darling dears, it's coming up on the energy of a 6. It's in the reverse. Good golly and the gosh, darling dears. And it's what? Moon energy. All right, bestie, lean in, right? Because when it's the moon energy, the illnesses that they have with the moon energy, lean in some more, bestie. Lean in some more. They're going through depression. Only a little, they need to be right there in the middle of depression, darling dears. They need to draw a circle of sadness and stay inside that circle, right? They're depressed, darling dears. They're having issues with their circulation. They could be a driver, and they're having listen, even if you're a long distance or even a short distance driver, you could be driving your car, right? Park up, get out of the car and drop dead. Why? Thrombosis, blood. It will come for you, right? Some of them are going through what? Mental disorders, darling. There's the moon energy. And because the Capricorn energy is Saturn, darling dears, this is rules and regulations. Remember, Saturn is the father of time. All right. So they're gossiping about your victories, darling dears. Your wins, the fact that your block game is for the gods. You're not having it. You already said they can't bloody come back. Right? Got the 8 of Swords. This person wanted you to be mentally trapped in this situation, darling dears. In some cases, there's a situation that you was involved in, darling dears. It involved some money that went missing. Was it anything to do with the big cat? We've got the Chariot energy. This is a card of success. I don't believe it was anything to do with you, but you was blamed for it, darling dears. Yeah. Let's go back to your deck. Your block game, darling dears, your block game. Why didn't you see the red flags? Or why did you ignore the red flags? Why did you ignore the red flags? That's a lot of cards, blood. All right. First card I got. Listen, this is a narcissist, darling. There's somebody who would like to come back to a situation. We've got Aquarius energy plus the moon, right? This is your friendship groups, darling dears. You couldn't trust nobody. Wherever you was, this foundation was never stable. This was not something to go on or continue in your life. Remember, you got the 9 at the beginning of the read. We've got the Tree of Life in reverse, darling dears. This person wanted you to be a fool, right? We've got the 3 of Cups. This could have been a third-party situation, darling dears. Third party could be a mistress. What is the version of a man? If the woman is a mistress, what is the man? I can only think of Jamaican swear words. What do you call the man? I'll send out a lifeline for that, right? We've also got the 4 of Cups, the missed opportunity, darling dears. With the Tree of Life next to the 7 of Swords, darling dears, it's because you wanted this situation to continue. You wanted it to continue, Tree of Life, second chance, a new beginning. But you're not going to allow the disappointment from that situation to keep you stuck in this particular situation or circumstance. Lots of disappointment, lots of disillusion, but they're looking like a dumbass at this moment in time, especially if it was a third party involved in a situation. We've also got the Knight of Wands, old dig dealer himself, darling dears, the mattress back in a Cuban or kitten heel. World card that you've ended the situation, but somebody's coming through with a message. All right. You want this message. Tell us the message. Judgment, darling dears. Don't take this person or people back into your life, but it's also a reminder to pay attention. This is a karma card, but you have it in the upright. What else do we have? The Wheel of Fortune, fate, destiny, and good luck, darling dears. We love this. We don't hate it. Why do we love it? Because the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter energy. And where are we again? The 9th house, the house of God, where we started the read and where we are right now. Good golly and the gosh. Whatever circumstance or situation you found yourself in, darling dears, it was for you to release yourself from this situation as quickly as you could, when you could. But it's also about you being blessed, darling dears. This is also a karma card, but it's in the upright. This is good dharma. You have not left behind anything worth keeping, darling dears. Remember, I told you that. These are 2 major arcana, darling dears. When we see major arcana, this is what's going to happen. When we see the minor arcana, it gives you the information around it. What can you do to build it, work towards it, come away from, Ace of the deck. Look! And you've got the badass alchemist ways. You've got the magician. 3 major arcana. Let me decipher this, darling dears. You're going to have to utilize some form of communication. I don't know whether it's if it's the writing of letters or a visit or something. You're going to be taking a trip, darling dears. The Wheel of Fortune could be any time between now and the next 10 days. This trip that you're going to be taking is going to be extremely important, darling dears. Okay? For some of you, communication, it could be a job interview. It could also represent a business loan. Some form of money is going to come to you from this situation, but it's only going to come once you've overcome the situation that you're in. And I don't mean like you forget about the person or about what they... Yeah, you're never going to really forget, darling dears, but you're not living there. Remember, the past is for recon only. Okay? But you definitely have a blessing coming towards you because you have the badass alchemist ways. You can think your way out of a situation. Good golly and the gosh, darling dears. You have all of the tools, the skills, the knowledge and the intellect, and you are about to manifest your desires. The magician, darling dears. The judgment. Whoever was left behind, they're not meant to come with you, darling dears. This particular portal, this opening is for you and for you alone. Yes, you've got progeny. Yes, they will come with you, darling dears. But what I'm saying to you, anything from the past, darling dears, we want to look at this emperor. It could be male or female. Tell us something about this emperor. Because we've got the chivalry card here. It could be a partner. It could be a business partner. It could be a what? A soul tribe friend. Tell me some more about this emperor. It could also represent you. If it's someone coming to you, darling dears, this person's coming to you with a clean heart. Hey, what else? What else? Oh, gosh. What else? Yeah, Queen of Wands. This is what's going to happen, darling dears. Number one, Queen of Wands tells me that you're futuristic thinking. You're highly intuitive, darling dears. It also tells me that people are paying attention to what you're saying, what you're doing, darling dears. You're making the right contracts. For some, you will be going into a love situation, but don't do it during Mercury retrograde at all. And remember, we have the post-shadow period that lasts for another 2 weeks. Okay. This person that's coming towards you, darling dears, as I said, their heart is clean. This is someone who's adventurous, darling dears. Queen of Wands is somebody who is set, financially set in their mind, spiritually. But you have to be in this position in order to receive it. 9 of Pentacles. Knowing your worth and adding tax, paying attention to your higher mind, your subconscious mind, darling dears. And remember, whatever they come with, you already got the facts. You don't need to do any more investigations. Let them investigate you, darling dears. Let them waste their life watching you, waiting for you to fail. With any luck, they'll hold their breath, darling dears. Let them hold their breath while they're waiting for you to fail. When you, big cat, are more than a conqueror. Many of you even went as far as to try and unalive yourself because of these situations. But remember, you didn't though. You survived. And that was for a reason, darling dears. Because somebody's got to sock it to him. And you've been chosen for that role. So let them continue with their hillbilly investigations. Let's get one final deck. And then I'm going to wash my vehicle. One-handed. Where's my, here. Final messages, and then we're out of here. To get great. Final message for the big cat. It's over, darling dears. Let the dead stay dead. If we're going to talk about the death card, this is Scorpio energy, darling dears. It's about the death and rebirth and the rise of you. It also speaks about joint finances, money coming towards you. As I said, money is going to be paid towards you, darling dears. It could be in the form of retirement, compensation, a new job. It could be joint finances, people going into a relationship, darling dears. About the 8th house. It's also about inheritances. Okay? But what's over is over. You heard the door slam, right? Okay then. Don't take them back and pay attention to who's coming toward you. But this emperor that we saw, they're coming toward you with a clean heart. Okay? Be the dragon. I'd rather be the dragonfly, darling dears. Base of the deck. Somebody's definitely coming for a talk or a meeting, darling dears. And I believe Venus is currently in retrograde. Twin flame. Is it really a twin flame? There's a shock here as well. Be careful who you drink tea and coffee with, darling. Just be very careful. This person likes to party and love calls. So they're coming with what? To try and to seduce you into bull swanky, darling. Just be careful. But insane, be careful, darling. Just still live your life. There's so many things to learn on this Malkuth, darling. There's so many things that you can do to uplift yourself. And the best way to help yourself is to help someone else. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings, pick up some of the channel merch, my Patreon, where I upload my extended videos. If you'd like a personal read, please hit me up in the Gmail at frequencyphoenix555@gmail.com. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, 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 cat.